welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video that I've actually already done on this channel, and it was my first ever video. I am going to be swapping my screen time for reading time. The first time I did this, my average screen time was about 7.5 hours, and when I took into account the fact that sometimes I just have my phone open on Spotify playing music throughout the day, I decided to reduce that to 6.5 hours. However, this past week, my screen time average was 10 hours, like 10 hours exactly. So this week, I am going to be reading for a minimum of 9 hours. I just got home from work a little bit ago, and I have a couple of hours until I need to be out and doing things again, so I thought I would go ahead and start the video now. I am currently reading The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I'm about 75% into the book, so I think if I read fast today, I should be able to finish this book and start my next one. But we'll see how that goes. I have officially finished reading The Cruel Prince. If I'm being totally honest, this ended up being a lot better than I was expecting, because for the first quarter of the book, I was really unimpressed. It was mostly story building, which, makes sense to some degree, especially if it's a fantasy world. You have to have things explained to you. But it just felt a little slow at the beginning. So when it eventually started speeding up, I got super interested and super invested in all the storylines, and it was just so good. I totally did not see the plot twist coming at the end. It was so good, dude. It was so good. I'm not quite sure how many stars I'm gonna rate it yet, but if you want to check that out and the review I will write about this book, you should definitely go follow my Goodreads. It took me just under an hour to read the last bit of this book, so now I am going to start on to my next book, which is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I actually bought this book a couple of months back for another one of my videos, but I have yet to get around to reading it, and it's a summery book. It's summer now, so I thought, what a better time to read it than now. This book is about the same length as The Cruel Prince, so I think I should be able to get a pretty good chunk out of it for this video, and besides that, I will definitely be able to read it pretty quickly. I've still got a couple more hours until I have to go and do some stuff today, so let's continue reading. To go ahead and stop for today, but as of right now, I have 2.5 hours of my 9 hours complete. I'm pretty far into this book, and I'm already absolutely obsessed with this plot line and the characters. Oh my gosh, literally, I can't even form actual words to describe how much I like this book. Everything is so well written so far. There was a plot twist, kind of, at the beginning, which I thought was super interesting, and I really enjoyed it. Justin, the main male character, is probably the best book boyfriend I've read in a very long time. I absolutely adore him, and I cannot wait to read more about him and his story. But I am going to leave it here for today, and I will come back when I am ready to pick it up.
All right, funny story time. So today I have work, and usually my shift starts around 7 a.m. So I got here ready for my shift at 7 a.m., right? Except I walk in and my shift lead, my manager, is like, you don't need to be here until 8, right? And I was like, are you joking? And so I checked my phone, checked my schedule, and in fact, I do not need to be here until 8. So I have the option to go home, but my thought process is by the time I get home, I'll basically be sitting around for like a couple of minutes and then I'll be heading right back over here. So I've decided that I'm just going to sit in my car, and what better way to pass the time than to read? Let's get on to it. All right, so it has been a little under 30 minutes, but it is almost 8 o'clock, so I'm gonna get my stuff together and get ready to head into work, and I will see you tomorrow.
All right, so it is now the next day, and I just finished up my lunch, so I figured this would be a great time to pick up some reading. I'm wearing this sweatshirt that says Currently Reading, and I think it's so cute. It's by Currently Apparel. I'll make sure to tag them down below in the description if you want to check them out. I have had my eye on this sweatshirt for a couple of months, and the other day I decided to just bite the bullet and get it, and I thought what a better time to wear it than when I'm doing a video about reading instead of being on my phone, you know? So without further ado, let's get into some reading. Wrapping up my reading today, and I really don't like where I've left off. I will pick up tomorrow morning. I don't have work, so I'll probably read in the morning as opposed to later in the afternoon. Yeah, I cannot wait to finish this book. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I am currently at about 6 hours on my timer, so I really only have to read for 3 more hours tomorrow. I might read more. But, yeah, I guess we'll find out tomorrow. Alright, so I think today is going to be the last day that I need to finish up this little challenge. Like I said yesterday, I am pretty close to finishing this book, so I really don't think this will take me more than like 15 minutes. So I wanted to go ahead and pick out my next book to read. I'm currently deciding between Before We Were Innocent by Ella Berman or You'll Be the Death of Me by Karen McManus. I initially thought I might want to be reading this one first, just because I had seen it lying on my floor, so I was like, oh yeah, I'll read that. But then I was trying to go to bed last night, and I was looking over at my book cart when I saw Before We Were Innocent, and this one seems to have more of a beachy tone, at least to some degree. So I think I might go with this one just because it's a little more summery than this one, because I'm pretty sure this is set during school, right? Which is, there's no problem with that. But it's not really the vibe I'm wanting right now. So I think when I finish up Just for the Summer, I will begin reading Before We Were Innocent. And I think I'm gonna read outside today because it's pretty nice outside compared to the last several days. So I am just going to get a chair and sit on my back porch and read for at least 3 hours. So let's get to it. Okay, so I just finished Just for the Summer. It was beautiful. They had me a little worried in the end there. They had me a little afraid, but everything turned out okay. If you are into romance books at all, read this book if you haven't already. Oh my gosh. It took me about 15 minutes to read, so I am now at 6 hours and 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go grab my next book and read for the next 3 hours. So it is currently a little bit after 11 and I have officially hit my 9-hour mark. I read in total for 9 hours and 16 minutes. It was honestly really nice to do a bit of an internet detox, and I got to read about 2 books in total through it. Since I started halfway through The Cruel Prince, read the entirety of Just for the Summer, and have read about halfway through Before We Were Innocent. This is honestly such a fun experience, especially because it was so much more time compared to the first time that I did it. I actually really enjoyed reaching for a book instead of going for my phone and just kind of scrolling aimlessly, and hopefully I'll be able to continue with that habit. But that is all for today's video, so if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!